Hi, nerds. This will be a little different. This is war comics or soldier comics or, some genre comics that aren't really in print much today. Probably, I guess G.I. Joe, but G.I. Joe's not, not the same. Maybe the Nom from Marvel Comics in the 80s, and Larry Hama was the last ones. But I got a stack of these for a quarter each. So I figured I'd give you a look at them. All right, so this is our stack of old school war comics. Mentioned I got this stack for a quarter comic, but I don't know much about him. I loved him as a kid. I loved the comic The Nom by Larry Hama, who was a Vietnam veteran himself. I was a G.I. Joe. I love G.I. Joe. I still, frankly, love G.I. Joe. But then, you go back a couple decades into this era, the 12-cent era, and war comics were extremely popular during that time. You were coming off of World War II and just the pride from that, and just the heartbreak and just the realistic look of the suffering of war. But these were extremely popular until they eventually fell out of favor. Charlton was a big player in that. You would see the difference here between this 20-cent comic and this new Charlton logo here. All New War, I think, was a popular title, but look at that cover. It's really cool. They just don't make covers like that anymore, frankly. DC was a big player in these war comics. We'll see Men of War, but we'll see a lot of major DC titles through that. Here's a Battlefield Action. Again, 12-cent. Great cover. Fighting Five. And another The Fighting Five. This is really neat. It's got a really neat cover. Here's another Battlefield Action 10-cent comic. If I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me in the comments if you know, I think this is a relatively famous and valuable comic because it has a single panel that has a taka 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 taka, and I think that panel was the first time that used that taka 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 sound to represent machine gun fire. And so it was, pretty, not groundbreaking, but an important panel and something that's still used today. Jungle War Stories. And again, I wish I could tell you more about it. I'm pretty sure I'm right in that. You can correct me in the comments, but frankly, I don't know a lot about these old comics. This Dell is another company. But look, this War Stories Combat, War in the China Sea. I mean, look at this beautiful cover, a 12-center. I'm just happy to own it. I think they're great. Another Charlton. Some more 12-centers. Here's Attack number 4. This has a piece of tape over it, which is a bummer, but that's how it is. But you can tell the scene that they're setting up, even in that cover. War at Sea is another great title. Let's get these out of the way so we can pop up another War at Sea. A couple more of these, again, 10-cent comics. Attack at Sea. Merrill's Marauders. If I'm not mistaken, that was a movie. Combat, a 15-cent cover. Gosh, that's a cool cover with the prop planes coming in. Submarine Attack. Another Submarine Attack. Both of these, again, Charlton put out some great titles. This was True Comics. 64 pages in full color. New Hero Comics. This is a Famous Funnies publication. I would not have seen that coming. Looks like this, Navy History and Tradition. That might have been a little propaganda booklet, it looks like, and not necessarily a published comic. Tells of the Green Beret, 12 center. Unseen enemy stalks, both friendly and foe in the deadly jungle. Real life comics, the alligators. War Stories, 10 cent. That is an amazing cover. I mean, it's beat up, but gosh, that's a 10 cent comic. That's a golden age. I mentioned we'd be seeing a lot of DC. Sergeant Rock was the big DC title. There aren't any Sergeant Fury, you know, Nicholas Fury, when on the Marvel side, that was kind of their take on the character. Sergeant Rock on the DC side. Here's some more Sergeant Rock. You can be in the Superman movie. Here's all new War, back to Charlton. Again, they were kind of the biggest player. Fighting Forces, featuring the Losers, another popular DC title. And that's a title that snuck in there. I don't even know what that is. Couldn't tell you. War 30-cent comic. All new War 30-cent comic. 35 cent by this point. That's a fun cover though. Yeah, more Charlton. Vengeance Squad, all new Vengeance Squad from Charlton. Fighting Forces featuring the Losers. It's a nice looking cover. All new War. Had the Frogmen. That's fun. Again, more Sergeant Rock. The Losers. More of the Losers. And the final one in the stack, Fighting Forces featuring the New Losers. Well, there you had it. I wish I knew more about these old comics, and I could be offer some intelligent commentary, but I can't. So if you have anything, if you saw anything interesting, you'll have to tell me in the comments. I'm excited I was able to grab these. I think they're fun, even though I don't know them that well. Again, I was a G.I. Joe guy in the 80s. But I do appreciate this era of comics, and I think these are really, really neat. So I try to show you some comics as often as I can. So if you want to subscribe and follow along, I'm normally Bronze Age Marvel superheroes, but every now and again I'll throw you a curveball. So I hope you enjoyed it, and you take care.